Conversations by Ordinary People.
Thank you.
Benjamin.
Yes.
Me and you know each other. We work almost at the same place. So I'll let you introduce yourself to everyone else so they understand who you are.
My name is Benjamin Kariisa,
Yeah.
and I'm a customer relations personnel. That's what I do. I'm more into customers, like relating with them, understanding how they want things to be done, how they want to be taken care of. More or less like, making them comfortable where they are. It could be a restaurant, could be a hospital, could be... It's a broad venture, if I may, for lack of a better word. But, that's it, like, pretty much.
Yeah. Interesting. So, from that brief background of who you are, we'll discuss at length the role of customer relations. We'll just focus on restaurant business because that's what I know as well.
Well, it cuts across, but
it cuts across. Okay, not just restaurant here. Actually, because we can't just focus on restaurants.
Yeah.
It's still on the bar side and whatnot. At nighttime people, So, when you say it's customer relations, what does that mean?
It basically means that you're bringing a customer closer to you and giving them a service that they came for.
Yeah.
If I came to eat in a restaurant, I expect to be treated because I came from far. Yeah. I drove past so many places to come to your place, which means something is pulling me to come to your place. So when you show up, when you enter that doorstep, the first thing as a customer relations I think of is that something brought that person here. So let me take care of that person. Some of them come with so many problems. Some of them have issues. Some of them say they want to have a good time. Some of them, they just want to chill. So when they come in, you as a customer relations, you could be a waiter. You have to do whatever it takes to make that person comfortable. 1, 2, make sure they come back. Like it's a game of comfortability. Like I want you to come back.
How do you define comfort?
Comfort.
Yeah, because I could find the price. Say at a fine dining, a top fine dining restaurant. I would come, but then I feel like, no.
That's not you.
I can't spend 100,000 on this.
Well, I can make you spend it.
Okay,
that's the thing.
no,
that's the idea.
So
it's 120, let me say a dish or 80 or 40. By the time you walk in my head, I think that person is ready to be taken care of. So I make sure you sit, I tell you what that menu is, I tell you what that food entails. I'm not even talking about the price. I'm talking about the food,
the details,
the content, not even the price. So when you come from that angle of content, what is in that dish, you in your head, you're already convinced, like, oh, this looks like it's going to taste so nice. So then, before you know it, you order for things. Unless some of them are skeptical, say, but it's a bit expensive. But there are options. Not everything on that menu will always be expensive.
Yeah.
Some things are within your budget, so we always look at the menu because I have to understand the menu without even looking at it.
Yeah.
Please ask me, what can I have today? I just have to think offhand. Because if I look at the menu, it will be like...
So if I walked in randomly,
yeah?
I have my money, I'm not complaining, I'm walking in. And I'm very disturbed with food, but I feel like I want to eat good food. And you welcome me and I tell you, what can I eat?
I'll before you tell me what can I eat, I'll also say, I'll tell you the same, not the same, but I'll say, how light or how heavy do you want to have? Like, or, your meal. Like, how heavy or how light do you want your meal?
Yeah.
So then, it's up to you to tell me, like, I want it a bit light. If you want like a 3-course meal, maybe, let me say, like, or maybe 1 meal. So it depends. I will follow your lead because me as a customer relations, also I have to follow your lead. At some point I may direct you to say, oh, but yes, you've gone for this, but this is better. But at first I have to follow your lead.
I see.
What you want.
So usually me when I walk into a restaurant, apart from when I was still dating one of my exes who was really a good foodie. So she understood food and she would really tell me that, hey, now you have to eat this and that and whatnot. Yeah. But now when I walk into a restaurant, apart from things I know of head, like, let me ask for chicken or pork and whatever they have, whatever looks fancy. You know, you guys name these things. Very fancy.
Well, continental dishes always like that. Some of them have French names, some of them, so...
Well, so what does continental dish actually mean? So, by the way, you should know that I'm into this business.
Yeah, I know. It's okay, it's fine.
But I hear these terms over and over again, like continental dish.
Continental is basically pretty much like, it cuts across, like, dishes from across. Like, if I came from the UK, if I came from France, if I came from Germany, I can find a certain dish at home. But when I go to Uganda or I go to Kenya, I can still find it. So these are dishes that cut across. Like if it's, let me say, cheeseburger, you can always find a cheeseburger in Kenya. You can find a carbonara in Tanzania. You can find these are dishes that cut across that you can find anywhere.
I hear you.
But unless, because every restaurant has a niche, has let me say, this is what I want to do. But most of them that we have here, the high end, they cut across. They have most of these dishes, yes. And let's say I'm doing local food, which you won't find Kalo in Germany. You won't find it here. Some of the restaurants say, no, you know what? Let me just go local because these are my people. Yeah, these are my target clients. This is what I know. Some people don't go for things they don't know.
Yeah, I've eaten from center. I don't know. Let me not call. Let me just call them out. St. Antonio's. I think they do a lot of local food.
Yes, I've been there before as well. You've been there before.
I've eaten there with some point and some celebrities were shooting a documentary. But the food was amazing. Like, it was local food. The cuisines were priced as if they were continental cuisines. Yeah?
Let me take, sorry to cut you short. You see, whether local or continental, food is food. But the way you present that food makes you stand out.
Yeah.
It could be kalo in a small basket with my boiled goat's meat or boiled beef or boiled fish. But the way you present that food gives me the appetite. Even just me looking at the food, I can get the appetite. With that, even if I don't know what it is. So, that's some good, nice presentation. I need to try that. Even if you don't even know it. So it's more of like art. At the same time, you're enjoying what you're going to eat, or someone who is presenting that food wants you to enjoy it. And that's the role of the chef. The chef has to make sure you enjoy that food. Because what makes the chef happy is when they see the plate is empty. When they see the plate empty, he will be the happiest man or woman on earth. So, I think I did a good job. It's an art. Food, yeah.
With all these continental dishes and cuisines and whatnot, does the quantity of the food matter most? What matters the most? Is it the presentation of the food?
It works both ways.
Is it the quantity?
It works both ways. I'll tell you the...
Because I've noticed actually the trend in presentation everywhere. Yeah. Some people now use frying pans, they give you boards, they give you what. There's so much going on.
I'll tell you this. The type of clientele where I work from, these are folks who the majority look at the quantity, and sometimes as Ugandans, I'll be honest with you, unless you've traveled a lot, but if you're born and raised here, believe me, even if it's me, I walk into a place, any restaurant, first thing I think of is, bro, I'm paying 56. Nah, bro. Do something. Do something. That is me. When I walk into,
me too. Yeah.
Trust me.
56 is supposed to look like 56.
Trust me. But a good chef can design a plate, present it in a way that you won't see that it's a lot or it's less. So it's more of like art. Like I'm giving you both at the same time. Presentation, quality, and quantity at the same time.
What's the importance of presentation though? Like why should my Irishes be separated from my rice?
You don't want to mix everything on the same plate because it will look, food will look everywhere. Like you just have to not separate it completely, but at least have a way in that I can tap here without mixing this, because sauces, there are sauces, there are accompaniments. It's not like katogo. Katogo, you just dip in.
Yeah.
So I have to separate it so that it's easier for me to dip, to pick. Yeah. So it's more of like, I'm also
the presentation
organized.
also contributes in how I eat the food, right?
Yeah.
So that
It directs you where to go.
Yeah.
Like, my potato wedges are here. Let me pick it from here. My sauce is here. You know, but everything is everywhere. You don't want to mix the sauce because some people are allergic to things. Some sauces have things where people are allergic, so you find yourself like, no, let me separate it so that let them do it by themselves. Let them dip or pick by themselves, but not you to mix everything. Even if it's breakfast, it's separate. Like you can know these are the beans, these are the wedges, these are the tomatoes. So it's more of like I'm directing you to see and to know where to start from. I can start with my accompaniment. I can start with my sauce. So it's not like I'm telling you like start from here. Yeah, it's more like directing you where to start and where to. That's the importance of presentation.
Now let's explore some of the aspects of like people behavior in regards on how a restaurant is designed, like how you want the people to sit, such the ambience of the restaurant to now the interactions from like the customers. How do you think people come to terms on what type of food to sell to these types of customers? Is it just a personal preference or like how do you understand? I just want to know your thoughts on that.
If I'll give an example of a place like the patio.
Yeah, the patio.
When you walk in,
Exactly. Yeah.
it's a high end, like it's a high end type of place. When you walk in,
So what does that mean exactly? Is it
high end is more of like
furniture
no, it's the beauty. It's because restaurants, the interior designing of any restaurant sends a message whoever is coming in. You're not limiting people to enter that gate or that door. You're not limiting it. No, I expect a certain type of clients to come in. No, you're simply creating an experience for everyone, because even that menu is affordable to everyone who walks in. We can't stop you. They can't stop you. So it's more like I'm creating an environment where everyone can feel comfortable fast. When you walk in, this is so nice. Let me have a seat. Fast things fast. Let me have a seat. When they bring the menu, it will be up to the client. So, this is affordable. I thought it would be way too more expensive, but it's affordable. The place sometimes scares people. That's for sure. The way it looks. Can I afford the menu of this place?
Yes.
So the perspective when they walk in, it's different when they get to be served. They'll be like, okay, in my head, I thought this was too expensive, but the whole idea of when you walk in, the first thing
The impression.
I mean, even if I was in the same shoes, I'd be like, will I manage? But when the menu comes on the table, like, ooh, okay, let me give it a shot. But it's not to scare away people. But it's more or less, it's more of like, we want you to first feel comfortable where you are. Yeah. And let the rest take care of itself. Like, I'll tell you the different types of clients.
Yeah.
There's so many. There are some rude clients. And that's where most of us come in. There are clients who are humble. And they want their personal space not to be encroached on, or maybe to be invaded by anyone else.
Yeah.
That allow the clients who just come to say, you know what, today I want to bowl. I don't care whether you're Mr. Who, whether it's more like ego. I have my money. I want to spend it. Regardless whether this is a fine dining, but I want to laugh. I don't want to be limited to anything. I just want to be free. Spend my money and go. There are some who come with different motives. You never know. But the role, our main role is to make sure by the time you leave that place, 1, you're happy.
Yeah.
2, you want to come back. 3, you recommend a friend to come to that place.
So where the service.
It's like inside marketing, invisible marketing. Like,
but that's the most.
Trust me, it's like
that's
invisible marketing. You've taken care of a client. They've gone out happy. They enjoyed the food. They enjoyed the service. The ambience itself contributed to that person staying there for more than 5 hours, 6 hours. And when they recommend someone else to come to your restaurant, and that's what we call real marketing. Without you going to social media, without you going to flyers, without you going to any other place, you get. So it's more of like you're doing your own invisible market, which is working for you as a company, which is working. And that starts with your staff. Your staff has to have like
the first marketers.
That's they have. For example, if a waiter, most waiters in Uganda, I'll be honest with you, I don't think they understand the beauty of their job and how it can stretch. Like I know Uganda is not a country of whereby people when you walk in, you eat, it's a must, you have to be tipped. No, it's not a must. That's how we're trained. Like you have to make sure you as a Mark have to give you that service, make you feel like you want to come back, and that starts with the waiter, not social media. 2 things: the waiter and the food.
The food.
Yes.
Yeah.
The food.
I agree.
And hygiene. Okay, those are 3 things that basically market our restaurant.
Yeah, I agree.
1 is hygiene is very important.
How do you mean hygiene though? Like I don't
like where we are right now, where we're seated, and you find a dirty table, but you never come back. You're like, this place is always dirty. I mean, you see a waiter come, but the way they are dressed, they don't give you that feel like, look at him. And when a waiter approaches you, and even the way they smell, that itself kills a client's vibe immediately. So hygiene cuts across toilets, kitchen, bar, cafe, on the floor, where I am seated. Like I don't need to see any dirt.
Yeah, just recently is when I realized that a waiter's hairstyle matters they're being really.
Like personal grooming for a waiter or waitress has to be top notch. That's the first selling point.
Okay.
Back in our prime days where I used to be on the floor.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. Because me, I was trained by
Me, I was once on the floor, but
Kenyan
I
lady.
think in a very small restaurant, so it didn't matter. Like the whole point was.
That's the thing. You think of like the whole point is have food, give drinks, do this.
Yeah.
No. You go back.
I see that.
I have to look a specific way to present that food to you.
My vibe, my whole tone, my body language, whatnot.
Believe me, personal grooming for a waiter, it's very important. I always tell my team, the first selling point that you have is not you knowing how the menu works or how understand everything on the menu. The first selling point that you have, you as a waitress or waiter, is your personal look. Hair trimmed well, nails short, smelling so good, shirt tucked in. You have your shoes polished black, whatever type of shoe or color they use at any workplace. It has to be. You have to look crisp, clean.
And then, as regards of, you talked about rude clients, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, how much training goes into waiters into preparing their minds? Because they are naturally rude people. But then, if I have my money and I'm rude, you don't want to lose me as a client, right? So, how much of that mental strength, like mental intelligence, are waiters like trained? Because at the end of the day, they're also human beings.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, they are.
Yeah.
We make sure we tell them that we understand they're humans, of course.
Yeah.
It's nature. You can't fight nature. You can't bend the law of nature.
Sure.
It's impossible. But this is the thing. When you have a rude client, the first thing a waiter does, I hope I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
The first thing a waiter does is to listen. If I'm shouting at the top of my voice as a client, as a waiter, you're not even expected to say a word. First, listen to the problem. What is he or she communicating to you? Where is the root cause of that? Because at that point, it could be. I also don't think it's the waiter. Maybe no, I don't think so. It could be something else.
Yeah.
It could be the waiter, yes. It could be the kitchen. It could be what. But you listen, because at that point, the waiter is representing the entire company.
Yeah. I think
So they are trained. They are trained. Yes.
Even though I feel like I'm the most important part in the chain because I've been the business for the waiter to handle. Yeah.
Yeah, but you see, there's a gentleman called I don't know if you know him, Richard Dawson.
Yes.
He said that if you don't take care of your employees,
that's so true.
They won't take care of your business. So even us, when we are trained these waiters and waitresses, we prepare them mentally first of all. Prepare them for the worst. So if the worst came to the worst, what do you do when a client shouts at you? Do you walk away? No, you can't. Do you talk back when they're still talking? No. I don't think days, if your father is talking, your mother is talking, you talk back. Either you're humble because you know that's a no-go zone.
That's a no-go zone, yes.
Whether you humble yourself, you listen. Whatever comes out, you have to bear the pain. Because we always tell them that at that point when a client is rude, listen, let them finish talking. Then once the conversation is done, once the client has finished talking to you, then you can start talking. First, say you apologize, whether you're wrong
or right.
Yeah, you apologize first. Because at that point, I'm simply informing the client that allow me fix the problem. It wasn't me who caused the problem, but allow me fix the problem.
You have to be a problem fixer in the whole.
You have to own. They used to tell us you have to own the problem first, whether it's yours or not yours. You have to own the problem. And that's why I said, fix the problem and complain later. If I told you that go and clean all those tables, you go clean, then come back later after the shift and tell me, Benjamin, yes, I cleaned. Yes, you told me to clean. But I wasn't happy the way you told me to clean, yet my colleague was there standing. So my goal as a supervisor, as a manager, as whoever's in charge of that shift, I just want to see things fixed. I don't want you Mark, when you come to dine in, everything is the way they look, tables are this way, they're dirty. I don't want you to see that. I just want you to come, order your food, you drink, you go home a happy soul. That's the main goal.
And in conflict resolution, in times where the business is letting the waiter down, say food is taking forever, and that's a thing with restaurants. Food really takes forever.
Yeah.
And when it comes to busy days, food takes forever. Even though, yes, we understand that food has to be prepared to the best, but food takes forever. So one time I make a decision not to eat from my home, and I get out of my home to go and eat from a restaurant.
There's so many factors.
There's so many factors. I want time, I didn't have time to cook at home, so I'm thinking when I go to the restaurant, it's going to be faster, because this is what they're doing. It's a food business for them. So I'd expect to get my food faster. But now that's a big challenge. So how do we resolve such a conflict? Because the waiter can totally do nothing about it. They have to wait on the chef.
That's true.
But then the client needs to eat in time, or they will not consider your place convenient for the future use. So be like, no, I'm going to burn a lot of time waiting for my food at this place. So how do we go about that?
In normal circumstances, when food delays, that is out of a waiter's hand. I mean, they can't cook, they don't cook. But clients don't want to know whether the waiter cooks or not. Waiters don't cook. They don't cook, but they make sure your food comes in time. This is what we used to do, because the waiter's role at that point, because we were told, keep your clients busy. By busy, I don't mean pull a chair, also sit and join the conversation. No, check on them. Remind them that food will be out in the next 2 minutes. Drinks are already on the table. They could be, you know what, give me another now special, I wait for my food. So the company is making money by ordering for more drinks while the food is coming. Of course, as a client, I have to keep you busy, to keep you there, to stay. But I'm not making you wait for the food. I'm just making you enjoy your moment at that point. But I have to keep checking on you frequently. Say, sorry, sir, there's a slight delay, but your food will be out in the next 5 minutes. That itself makes the client say, he's taking care of my table. He's looking out for my food. The way I gave him my order, that's a responsible waiter. I'll sit and wait. So, but if you don't come to check on me as a client, that will show that first of all, you forgot about me. Which means you didn't follow up on my food. Probably you ignored us. We even wanted more drinks just to wait for the food, but you never showed up. So it's more of like, I have to keep the table busy.
So the interaction is very important.
It has to be there all the time. Of course, some of them will be impatient, like, no, bro. You can never apologize twice.
But let me give you a situation. When I go in a restaurant with less money, I don't want the waiter to keep coming to check on me. Because checking on you, they are, before your beer is filling, they're filled it in, they've brought another one. They're making sales exactly.
I know, but that's that's a bit extreme.
But
I understand your frustration on that. But it doesn't. They don't have to really start asking if you want more. The checking I'm saying is more of like,
Are you okay?
Is everything okay? I'm just reminding you, if your food delayed, that your food will be up in the next few minutes. But of course, some of them, if you came to drink, like some people just come to drink. And we also tell them, always keep an eye contact to your client. You don't want the client to raise up their hand and like, excuse me. Just read, look at the body language. Yeah. So that itself tells the waiter that person's involved, especially when you're serving wine.
Yeah.
The refills have to happen. If my glass is almost like a drip, I have to refill that glass for you. I just have to be present on your table. You never feel the delay of food. The moment I'm present there, even if I'm at a distance, I have to keep an eye contact. That itself tells me, we're safe. You put in the order, everything is here. The only thing is left with us is to check on the food. I check, that's why you need to have watches. Because having a watch as a big 5, it's important. You have to time it. Food is, let me say 15 minutes. At 10 minutes, you can check on the food. That's the point of having a watch as a waiter. But most of them don't have watches, of course, but they use clock watches and stuff. Yeah, so
I see.
So it's more of like you need to be present. It's more of like.
But now I think restaurant management should make sure everyone has a watch because it's really important.
It's an an accessory that I mean, if the company provided, that'll be good. But also sometimes you don't have to babysit some of these people. You train in the way to understand that this is not a charity organization. If I tell you I want you to have the big 5, you will get it. First, you want the job, right? Yeah? These are the requirements for your position. So it's you give them that training in a way that you look out for yourself.
Yeah.
Not a company has to provide this, the company has to provide this. We're training you also to think beyond, think outside the box. If I didn't provide you the watch, wouldn't you? How comes you know the time you're supposed to do the shift?
Okay, yeah.
You're supposed to be by
But
7.
this is an in-service type. But yeah,
You
like,
get what I mean? So it's more like self-drive. It's self-drive. If I want you to be here by 7 a.m., you have to be able. You have to buy a watch.
Yeah, because you need to.
I mean, if you're dating a woman, would your parents buy you the bed? Won't buy you the bed. Yeah? It's a self-drive. This is what I want.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I get you.
So it's not everything will be given to you, even in your own matrimonial home.
Yeah.
Never. Some of the things are supposed to give by themselves, not us. Because the big 5, that's one of the requirements as a waiter. You need to have them. You need to have all those things.
So there's a trend though in consumption, yeah, and I've seen it around Kampala places. What society perceives as beautiful. So you'd find, say, a bar. It has beautiful waitresses, sorry. Because beauty, what society perceives as beauty, attracts men who spend money on women and sales keep increasing. What are your thoughts on that?
If beauty would work in a restaurant, it's supposed to.
Yeah.
But it's the other way around. I could bring handsome waiters in my restaurant, or I could bring beautiful women, but the productivity of that beauty doesn't match.
It's a one-time thing, like you might strike me and I come and then...
It doesn't match.
Yeah.
It doesn't match my standards that I want you to follow. She could be a very cavalicious chick, but she has an attitude.
True.
She has an ego. You're always angry all the time. They have this stupid entitlements. I am beautiful.
I can do this.
It's too much. Like you get, there's no frequency of need for their job. Like it's like as if they're doing you a favor.
Yeah.
You never walk into my gate. when you have such, you can be as beautiful as the one Zario over it is, but on the floor, it's kama kawaida. It's moto.
He who works
stays. Yes, your beauty, yes, you're going to attract men who are going to spend. That's true. But what about...
That's a one-time thing.
That's a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Maybe they just flew in today. Just want to have a good time at the party. Then after that, they say, you know what? We like so and so. But they left. You staying here. You can't work with that attitude. So if you have an attitude and the floor, and also a customer has an attitude, I'm sorry, how do the two? So the things you leave at the gate, one is bad attitude, ego, entitlements. Like,
so when you're waiting,
everything stays outside.
That is not that. When you come, you have to be very welcoming. The whole concept of hospitality.
That's the whole point of hospitality. You have to be welcoming. You have to be humble. You have to do teamwork. It's a job. You have to always mind time. Time is very important. Time is very important. You miss time. I mean, during our days, even 2 minutes can get you fired.
2 minutes off.
It's supposed to be by 7 a.m. It's 7:02. You can get fired. I'm telling you, time is very important. Be in a work environment, be at home, be at work. Anyway, time is very important. But it's something that most of
that's not a job you can work from home and be like, let me stay and send the orders online.
But before I said the waiting stuff, in Uganda here, I don't think they understand the beauty of their job and how important it can drive them to so many, or give them so many opportunities. The people who eat in your restaurants are people who own businesses.
Yeah.
These are people who have traveled. These are people who
have so many opportunities around them. You just have to tap into
what they see, and for them they come. Some of them come to scout.
I see. You're saying the business exposes you to so much social capital.
So much, like they.
Supposes you meet a millionaire and a billionaire.
Most of the things they think about is just getting a tray, serving food. No. That's how it works, yes. But you, as Benjamin, what do you want?
I see.
Do you think about yourself as Benjamin? Do you look at yourself as staying in the next 3 years, holding a tray? Or do you want more than just a tray? So, the communication comes in, the way you talk to people, the way you relate with your fellow staff, the way you respect the rules before you, the way you create boundaries between different, let me say, chain of command. Respect is very important. But then when you reach on the table, even the way you talk to a client, they are really confident. You know what you are doing. They've taken our numbers before. And they say, Benjamin, are you happy where you are? I'm like, yeah. At the moment I am. Until I get something
different.
Like, give me your. They don't even tell you why. Give me your contact. To me, that is
something.
A step. Someone's watching. Someone's listening.
I mean, it helps.
Someone's keeping an eye on me. Yeah. Maybe they're letting me just polish my craft here, and they give me like a year. After a year, they'll come back.
They're like, what's up? How far this person?
Say, is Benjamin still there? Oh yeah. Yeah. He was promoted, or he left, or he quit, or he resigned, or they will tell them. I said, "Do you have his number?" Yes, I have. I'll call you. So meet me here. That's an opportunity.
So it opens you up.
It opens you up. You don't look at just holding a tray. You look at something bigger. You're dealing with these expatriates who come for 3, maybe they want research assistants. They are paying you, let me say, $500 per day. And they want you to come because they know you're good at communication, you know you're fast at this. Some other things come up and you're not even aware. They say you can handle the job. That's true. But how? How hungry are you to learn? Like do you have a lead? So the waiting game is not all about trays, knowing the menu. That's very good. It's part of you, but then you need to think beyond just holding a tray. And that's the thing most of these waiters and waitresses don't look at. It's a broad game, they think about tips, they fight for tables, like we used to do those things until you sit down and say, but I've been here for 2 years.
Yeah.
What's up?
Speaking of tips though, are tips supposed to be mandatory?
No.
But in some countries they are.
In America it is. In America,
actually yes.
Waiters are paid.
My friends who came for
percentage.
the last winding up, 2 of them are from America. So he left until the parking. Then when they brought his car, he left the car and said, no, I forgot to tip. Let me go back to the waiters and tip.
That's not the culture here, but it's growing.
Yeah.
That I'll tell you, it's growing. Why? Because now people who come to high-end places, in their head they automatically think, and I've eaten a bill of, let me say, 500. I need to tip that waiter maybe 10. Because in America it's more of,
there's even a percentage.
Yes, if I eat 1 million, that's 10%. That's like what?
That's 100 bob.
That's 100 bob. You're good to go. Some places do it.
Yeah.
In Uganda, some places do it.
Mandatory.
No, it's not. But the clients that come there,
they do a solid 10%.
Yes. If let me say, guys, ate a bill of 5M, and you say, what's 10% of that? It's like what, 500 or? Yeah, within a span of 3 hours, and you're good to go. But the night is too young. That's 500 already in your pocket. Now, what if you have like more 3-4 tables? You paid your rent for the next 6 months. Your salary, you haven't even looked at your salary yet. Waiters, by the way, don't even think about their salaries. Never.
Interesting.
Trust me, like they say, oh, today is 30th. Oh, it's payday. Yeah, well, they will give it to me. They don't feel that urges of like, I need salary. Never.
Because within the month is all this money circulating around. That's.
They've been making money every single hour, not day.
Do you think tipping should be mandatory? Also, I have.
Well, that's a culture. That's a debatable. Topic, and it doesn't have to happen in restaurants. That's something maybe the council under restaurants management, whatever it is, they can sit down and say, hey, but you see, you can't force Ugandans to pay you tip when you had a bad attitude. But that's what starts with the parliament, because in the US it's a law.
Yeah.
It's a law.
So
like
the guys handling
that's how
hospitality here should consider such things. But also, though, I have heard that business owners use this as they use the tipping system as a way of. So when you're negotiating your salary with a waiter, it will intentionally be cut down. It will be possibly beyond average because there's a possibility of you getting tips.
Well,
right? Like
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But also, you see, waiters are the least paid people in any restaurant business. They're the least paid. Because, of course, at the back of my head, I know. I'll get tips every day. I won't walk home. I won't walk back home empty-handed. I'll still get the money. But also, like I said before, if I was, I used to be, when I was a waiter, to me, it was more of like, I need more. because I joined in my late 20s, as around 29, 28. I remember the first interview. The first interview I went for, the lady looked at me. She was a Kenyan lady, I remember. She's the one who trained me. She looked at me and said, "Don't you think you're too, you're not old, for lack of a better word, don't you think you're too old for this game?" I answered, I'm like, "No. Allow me, try me first. Let me show you that I can do better than what you just said." She picked up the paper and signed on it. "You come for training next week." Like yes, I am 29, 28, but...
Yeah. Let me show you what I can do.
Let me show you. So I mingled with guys of 20, 18 years, 21. You're working with them, but that also teaches you that be humble. You're at the same level with them. You're almost like 9 years older than them. So you have to play it nice, play it cool, and focus. Within a span of 1 year, you're somewhere else. So I didn't take it personal. I didn't look at it as a way of, maybe I demean myself. No. I use that as an opportunity for me to do better. I have friends who used to come. We went to the same high school. Some of them are lawyers, some of them are doctors. So they walk in. That itself, I put it away. So you know what? I want money. I want the job. I want to have my own money. It's just, my job security or something. So I worked. You focus. You start in front of them. Some of them are younger than you, but they have more money than you. So yeah, it's life.
But I think that's just about someone's mind space, really.
Yeah.
For you to be in such a situation. Like how people can just go back to school after some time.
Yeah.
So they're sitting in minds. Now, let's go on to food consumption trends, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to discuss the evolving trends in food consumption, including things like dietary, where people are choosing their diets, how this affects the business, what type of foods. We have all these diseases, diabetes, and whatnot. So as a restaurant business, and also as someone who understands people's consumption and relation to people, what are your thoughts on dietary? Should I diet on healthy living as compared to actually sweet food, right? So when you drink a milkshake for healthy living, when I had a meet on my pod, so she came with some milkshake. It was full of green things, right? It tasted like those things which people taste, that I can't wait, what's going to drain your stomach. So there's that, and really just taking a milkshake. You feel it sweet. Like, I want to go to the restaurant and take my milkshake. So what's your opinion on that? On how people, give me an insight on how people are consuming their food now.
You see, the menu...
and also like compared to like fast food, right?
The way the menu is created in a way that it cuts across. It caters for every... in terms of health, it cuts across. Some people come in, they want to have a healthy meal. Some people come, they want...
What is a healthy meal? A meal that doesn't have oils, whatnot?
A healthy meal, you can even eat steak.
And it's healthy meal?
It's a healthy meal. The way you define it, it depends on what your meal plan is or whatever you came to eat. Doctors advise, don't eat red meat, eat white meat.
Yeah.
Don't eat, please don't eat fish, eat this. So health is defined by you, depending on how your body is or how your body consumes food, or depending on your history, health. The history. Do you have a disease? Are you trying to fight this?
Yeah.
Any food is healthy. It's just the way they prepare it. It's also different. But also the other thing is that because the menu has so many, it has different dishes. Some of them are people come on when they are on a diet, so they need to eat something within their diet, like as directed by the doctor. That's also there. So as a chef, not me, but when a chef is sitting down to create a menu, he caters for everyone. We have people who are vegans, vegetarian, because a vegan and vegetarian are different. Some people don't want dairy products in their food. Some people don't want nuts in their food. Some people don't want. That's why you see they separate things for you to mix for yourself. So it is something that you can't predict and say, Mark, this client must be eating this. No, I listen to what you want. You tell me, I don't want ABC in my food. I say, okay, are you allergic to anything? I say, yes, I'm allergic to chives, I'm allergic to nuts, I'm allergic to so many things. So me, when I'm putting that order in, I specify anything, any food, as long as you have the ingredients, can be made in that kitchen, even if it's off the menu. The goal here is to take care of Mark. Yeah. If I even if I know I am going, it's going to take me a bit of time. I have to give it to you. So food, generally, food is something that it's broad. Even a restaurant can never say this is what I'm going to cook in particular. No.
There are no specifics. It's always going to change.
The menu is there.
Seen we have so
the menu is there. Yes.
Recreate these menus.
Yes, the menu is there.
Yeah.
But it can be, they can prepare something else based on the customer what?
Is that so?
Yes.
So I can come in?
Yes.
And I look at the menu and I'll be like, no.
I say no.
I want this and this and this.
That's a steak? No, you know what? Do me a pan-fried steak. They can do it.
How will you cost it in that moment?
The same way.
Okay.
It's a steak. Yeah. It could be 36, it could be 40 something.
Yeah.
I want it pan-fried. That's what I want.
Okay. That makes sense.
I'll do it for you. What does it cost for a chef to go back and just cut the chops and the chops of a steak and cut it in cubes?
Yeah.
Then get your vegetables, get your oil, then pan-fry it.
And the other thing, before it actually runs out of my head, is in terms of like culture of fine dining. Yeah. And I've been having these conversations with chefs, Emerson, Timothy, and Faith as well. So everyone keeps saying, but Ugandans don't really understand fine dining. But then everyone has there's so many fine dining restaurants.
To me,
right?
And
they always have these customers. Mm-hmm. So what's your thoughts? What are your thoughts on like the culture of dining here? Is it that we, first of all, we are always really dead down by restaurants in general, most of the times. We don't feel like, when you watch Chef Ramsay on Hell's Kitchen, all those food shows you see on Food Network, you'd expect such an experience. But I've seen it anyway. Some restaurants probably do it, like such stuff. That is what comes to my mind. Like, man, I'm going to go. They explain to me this meal, because I'm a Ugandan man who's used to matoke, mchere, nyewa, janja, and whatnot. That was Sunday based. But now the restaurants come with all these funny names, all these additives and whatnot, and they just throw them at you there. Sometimes you even scared. You're like, man, I just eat things, and then I'll get stomach upsets. Yeah.
Okay, like.
So, what are your thoughts on the dining culture, generally? Yeah.
It's growing. I'll start from there, and let's not assume that Ugandans are not people who dine in. Yeah. These are people who read. These are people who travel. These are people who watch these movies and they say, can this be done in Uganda? Let me go to Patio and see if I can find this. It's up to the chefs, the restaurant owners, to set up the fine dining place. Yeah. Give it a standard. Yeah. And see if people won't show up. The problem we do is we assume that Ugandans don't fine dine. Even if they don't know, sure.
What is fine dining?
Fine dining is more of like, first of all, it starts with the ambience. it's how should I put it? The ambience itself, it's always like calm. Yeah. People assume that people walk in there are people who are lawyers, suits, CEOs. That's true. And the food itself, they always do 3-course meal, 5-course meal. Like their standard is always like, I think they never want to even change it. Like it's a place where you walk in and say, I want to be calm. Like just calm. Even the music they play, it's like acoustic. Like it's not even cafe music, like acoustic, like opera music. Like it's the food, the presentation. It's far different from the normal restaurants we walk in. It's the same. They serve steaks, but the presentation, also it's a class. It's far. It's a class that cuts. It's far. It's different. Let me just for lack of a better word, it's different from our usual places we work in. But for them, it's kind of, I don't even know how to say it, but it's different. It's way different. The food itself.
Yeah. So
fine dining is quite complicated.
It's very complicated.
It's very complicated.
Been in some meetings where we're discussing the design. A guy really gives you a whole analogy of why this should look like this, why Java's is looking like that inside, and how someone will feel, how they see it, what type of food then is supposed that fits into what type of foods the chef, like it's a whole planned out.
It's different, but there are a few places in Uganda here that do fine dining. Yes, the fine places like our high-end restaurants.
Yeah.
Most
like the mez, right?
So like the mez. Yeah. Well, most of them, it's a fine place to dine in.
That's the thing. What's the difference between a fine place to dine in and fine dining?
The setup of the place, it's fine.
Like it's cool, like
it's cool. It's it's good for dates. It's good to read a book. It's good to have a conversation, not so loud, but you can hear someone even when you whisper. Like it's a fun place to dine in. Fine dining is different. It's totally different from what we have in most places here in Uganda. I can be honest with you. The only one place I know that practices well, I don't know if it's you should mention the name, but if you know, it's I would say Le Chateau. It's Le Chateau something. It's a French.
Yes, I've seen Le Chateau.
Yeah, it's.
There
are very few places there that do that, and even.
So going at Java's,
Java's not fine dining.
It's going at a fine place to dine.
Mm-hmm. But not fine dining. There's so many details involved that if you'll attract a specific type of people that you won't find in our normal, usual restaurants that we have. I think for them, they look for a specific place that say, you know what? You can go to Serena. They also practice that. They also practice it in their restaurants. But I can also say I'm going to a patio to fine dine. That's how they put it. But in normal circumstances, fine dining is far different from what we have, what we do, what we see. It's beyond. Like you walk into a place, the waiters themselves, the way they present themselves is different. Way too different.
So how much knowledge do waiters and waitresses know about food to present it to a customer?
They just have basic knowledge.
How much?
But lately, what we're trying to dive into is to give them that we want to upscale it and say, you know what? You're used to this. You want your steak how? but there are details you should present to a client in regards to what they're going to eat. Presentation should be very important to you.
Yeah, I think in the marketing we have actually introduced that as well, where maybe steak. We are talking. I'm saying this on behalf of the party. Where we're telling people, you can tell the chef that you want your steak medium rare, what not. This is something you can communicate. How many people understand food in your experience to that level that they can come with this knowledge and actually communicate it? Like in a scale, like Ugandans, do the people that come in to eat food understand and like it that much that they know?
Yes, I'll tell you, if a scale of 10, it's 8.
For real?
8 out of 10. People understand food. That's why you don't assume for Ugandans. It will surprise you. People understand food. That's why when you come into to dine, me as a waiter, I don't have to judge you, even the way you look. You could be in your sandals, your pajamas, and my friend, you have a whole chef seated there. These are chefs who come to see you. These are people who have, you don't have assume. 8 out of 10 Ugandans, not even those who have traveled, those who are born here, they understand food. They haven't traveled, but they've been eating this food in different places. So they want to have the same experience at your place. So, do you have this? No, we don't do here, but we can see what we can do.
Okay.
We can improvise. They understand food. That's for sure. I can be honest with you. Okay, there are some who come. Me, I don't want to look at your menu. Me, I want, do you have pork? Yes. What do you serve it with? ABCD. Yeah, bring that. They are there. But someone goes an extra mile and say, please do me a favor, I want my steak rare. And do yourself a favor, make sure it's rare. Now those are details most of the clients come with. But also the waiters understand that when I ask for steak, I have to ask you as Mark, how do you want it? How do you want your coffee? Do you like it strong? Do you like it medium? Do you like it light?
Even just coffee.
That is why in fine dining, details matter.
It's where
the details now play.
The details make the sense.
Yes. Please make sure when you're marinating my steak, it should not be frozen to a certain type of degrees. Now those are details. I want my tiramisu or creme brulee or whatever it is. I want my dessert heated up. I want my dessert soft. I want my dessert fine. It's the details that matter. And the details the clients come with that they know you can't challenge them. I have been eating salmon for 17 years. They never ban my salmon. My salmon has to have come, first of all, hot in a specific type of, degrees. It's a lot. It's the details in fine, which we don't practice most of the time. It's different. Very, very different. If you go to these fine places, let me say, if you go to Paris or Germany or where, if you go to fine dining places, I've never been there.
So what is
but it's quite
the
interesting.
purpose of combining food and fruits? I see it a lot.
They say food has to have different colors on the plate.
Minus just the colors. Now,
that's just the color. But
when you now go to buffets, you see they mix fruits and apples in some creams. They're all tasting sweet. The dessert bit of it. Okay.
Some of those
who are meal, the 5-course meal. The importance of dessert, the importance of the course. Okay, not the importance. Why are these things designed like this? Isn't it too much for me to eat?
No, first of all, it doesn't come in large quantities. If it's a 5-course meal, it doesn't have to come in you see a pot of kalo. No. The sizes or the quantity is limited because you're going to have 5 dishes.
Okay.
So which means the starter will be as light as possible. Then you reach at the main course, or you already had the starter, you already had the juice, you already had the glass of water, you already had what. Even when the steak comes, it won't be as big as this. It will be something small with a few assorted veggies on the side. Like it doesn't have to be a lot.
Yeah.
So the dessert, the main purpose of dessert is just, to just ease up the digestion and everything. There's no serious, like dessert is just to ease up the digestion. After a heavy meal, you make a dessert. Yeah, some people say, I don't want dessert. Give me 2 shots of this.
Okay. Do
Throw
you
it in
believe
and-
pineapple goes on pizza?
Hmm?
Do you believe pineapple goes on pizza?
That's someone's recipe. Yes, it's true. It does.
Yeah. So
And
yeah, we have
Italians-
eaten pineapple pizza. It's really dope.
It does. It's good. Some of those are like pineapples, what. Some of them are good to let me see if sometimes the meat is hard.
Yeah.
Some of those fruits help that meat to soften a bit. So you see, they use most of the pineapples in most of those meaty dishes, just to give it a tenderness, of that. It could be steak chops, whatever it is, chicken, what. Just give it a bit of tenderness and the flavor as well.
So yeah, as we are concluding away from the food business. Eh? As we conclude from the food business. I want you to share some tips. Yeah? Because also given your experience, I wrote down here that I wanted you to share some tips for effective restaurant business management, including things like inventory control, like how do you go about those things, maintaining and retaining customers from the get-go, and cost management. Really. From your perspective, you don't have to
Go into details.
Yeah, what the finance does, but like from your perspective, you have to do your restaurant, like you share those tips. Or to me, if I want to start my restaurant, like because you've had all these experiences working from all this top, you probably started not from extremely top restaurants, so you know why some are making a lot of money and some are not. Yeah.
First, it's the location is very important. Where you're going to put your
Restaurant.
yes, the location is important. 2 is you have to, the 3 things I told you before
Yeah.
that you have to put into consideration. That's hygiene, the look of your place, the type of service you're going to give your clients. Yeah. And then you need to have a niche in your restaurant. By niche, like you need to have, what are you selling? Do you have an authentic dish that that is known to you as a company? That I'm going to the patio for this specific dish because it's the only place they cook it from or they prepare it from. That's the only place. That is also very good when you're starting up. Also, you need to, like I said before, take care of your employees. You need to find a way, because if you don't take care of them, they won't take care of your business. You need to put that into consideration as well. Like, give them some incentives. Consider that. Put it in your mind. For things like marketing starts within
The restaurant.
that is something you need to start with. Then the other thing is
good service sells
yeah,
the most.
trust
Good
me,
service
it
is the
does.
best marketing strategy
It does.
in this business.
It does.
Yeah.
The other thing is if you're costing your food, where you are located also matters. So you need to so yeah, like when you're costing food, sometimes depending on where you're located, so the cost has to be a bit friendly because you're not catering for a specific type of clients. I think in your mind you're catering for the entire neighborhood or entire area code. Some of them are rich, some of them are middle class, some of them are, so you have to cater for everyone. You don't have to say I'm doing fine dining, but the area where you are, people like Kalo, So the geography of where you're located also gives you the idea on what.
Who you're going to sell to, because walk-ins are very important, right? Yeah.
So you need to first do a bit of research where you're going to put your place, and then know the type of people who. Because I'm sure the restaurants within, you know the people who come to eat there. So if you also go to the same thing in the same area, I think you need to be more observant of the people who come in. Even as they tell us, like, understand your clientele. After setup, when you're already there, understand your clientele. Do like a survey there at work. Do a survey. This person has been coming every day. He has been eating the same food. Why can't I sell something new to him or her? See if they can try something new. You're not telling them that you've eaten a lot of that food, but you're simply saying that today I would love you to try the grilled salmon. Such very nice. The customer asks you how nice. First thing he says, it's grilled. Yeah. It has its sauce on the side. They give you vegetables on the side. It comes with this. Okay. So you're literally telling clients, try this. You love it. Try this. Sometimes you need also, the people you train, they need to have that. The training has to be as solid as possible, because either they can sell the company or they can bring it down. Also, when you're hiring employees, sometimes you need hire professionals because you're starting. I mean, some of them come with their own salary expectations, what. But you need hire professionals who understand each department, who really know that if I'm going to be the general manager, I have to cut across procurement, service, kitchen, security. Like, that person understand how the business works. When you got other juniors, the procurement officer, the finance, the floor managers, the supervisors, some of them have been there before. You can't hire a fresh person to run your business when they've never been there for even a month. It's impossible. It's impossible. You can never trust anyone, even if they've been there for 10 years. Of course, they understand how it works. They can either steal from you or build you. Two things. And that depends on how, first of all, you pay them and what kind of incentives you put on the table. If the deal is juicy, I, for one, I will jump on board. If the salary is juicy, I will jump on board. Because at that point, I now have enough
experience.
And second of all, I've been given, money can never be enough, but I've given a certain amount of money that can drive me. Yes. I don't have to think of
so many other things to do.
Like start going through behind the system and start. No. Sometimes you need to look at when you're giving out salaries. Someone else has been there for 10 years. You can't give them a salary that someone, like as if they're starting, like as if they were there 3 months ago. No. Of course, they come with a set.
I see that.
So that's, it's those are the basics that you have to think of. Food is very important. Very, very important.
Do you feel like the food business can't run out of business?
Yes.
Because people eat food.
Yes, that is one of the most lucrative business. Depending on how you treat it and how you manage it, it will still there until your last breath. If you have a good system that runs. Systems, let me tell you, someone says you can manage, you can't manage people fully, but systems can manage people. Even if I'm in my bed and I say the system is everyone has to be there by 7 a.m. Check in. You miss a minute. The system tells me so and so came late, so
these things at work, so just needs for checking in.
Yeah. So I can be in my home watching TV, whatever it is. And the system tells me Benjamin came at 7:03.
Yeah.
Must be a reason as to why. I'll come and ask him when I come to work. So
you can just keep
it's
track of everything.
yes, it's just keeping the systems in check. They will run the business. Of course, it's there, but people are running the business, yes, but there's something driving them to run that business, like any other place, even in a home. Your father cannot come home before you.
How do you picture a culinary business in general? In like 5 years to come from now? Like how do you see it from your experience in Uganda?
I think 5 years is very far.
And we have so much happening. We have all these events that happen that yeah.
No, 5 years is very far. I'll tell you why. Because the culinary industry is growing as fast. It's like a rocket. Like it's like speed of light. People are coming up in new places. People are studying being chefs, right? People are traveling to get more research. So it's growing very fast. And people are there. People know. Those who have been there before are going to do the same business again.
What's the difference between a chef and a cook, by the way?
They do the same job. It's just that now
Chef is like managerial.
yeah, it's professionally. It's a title. If I may put it, it's a title. Because a cook can also do the same thing as a chef.
Can they?
No,
I've hosted a chef before, a chef from Serena. They told me the cook can't do what a chef does.
no, a chef is okay. There's more involved within a chef. Of course, they've been there before. They understand so many things in terms of. Also, a cook will cook. A cook will cook what a chef tells them to.
To prepare.
Yes.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I want the carbonara this style, this much cream, this what, because they understand. They don't have to cook. They know. So the cook will just cook, but they won't have the knowledge. Yes, they won't have the knowledge to say, because a chef thinks beyond, outside the box. Like someone comes with a complicated order, a cook won't prepare it. Say, what do they want? Call me the chef. I don't understand this. But when a chef comes and explains this to the cook and say, especially those sous chefs who are under the chef, those are the guys who really, most of them call them cooks and stuff, but they do. Actually, if you walk around, a sous chef doesn't cook better than the chef, but does most of the work for a chef.
Now, that's mostly it from the food business. I don't know if you have like some sort of legacy you want to leave behind. Not like leave behind, not like legacy to leave behind. That would be the last question I ask you in the podcast. But something you think is not given so much attention in the food business, but you know it would work from your own perspective. Food and hospitality, man. I don't know why we focus so much on the food. So yeah, we're going to go from the food and go into the drinks and the party life. The Kampala nightlife, but yes, I was still asking, is there something you feel now from the food side that is neglected or is not given more attention, like could work? Maybe concept, maybe an idea. You feel like this idea, if it's implemented here, it will go with the vibe of Ugandan. Say, like you see how my first experience at Nyege Nyege was weird. So I found whites selling chapatis and bananas, and you could roll chapatis and bananas and eat that. And it was 7,000, right? It's a lot of money for a chapati and a banana. A chapati of 500 shillings and a banana of 500. Food for 1,000 could cost 7,000, but it's Nyege Nyege, so it wouldn't matter, right? But just that, the fact that I never thought about it, and when I ate it, it was dope. I enjoyed it, but I never thought about it. So it's it's an idea someone thought about and be like, okay, I can sell it to Ugandans and it can work.
No, but the thing I see that would work, that maybe not like it's not paid attention to. It's not like they haven't tried it before.
Yeah.
is giving clients like a random day. Like come and cook their own food they've ordered for.
Okay.
Like you say, you always eat a carbonara.
Cook it and eat it.
Cook it.
Eat it.
And eat it. Like let me give you an experience. Friday or Saturday, come in the kitchen. Put in your headgear, put in your gloves. These are the ingredients. You'll be with the chef, of course. Just give a client an experience to...
That we're going to implement.
You get
that we're going to do it.
It's an interesting perspective. Like, I've been eating this food, but how do they prepare this? Like,
so you have all this guidance.
So a chef said, today it's customer, I don't know, food experience, something in the kitchen. So you can put it on Twitter. And says, I've ordered for, let me say pizza. You go in the kitchen. The dough is there. The chicken is there. The sauce is there. They teach them how to do it.
How long does pizza take to get ready? Like 15 minutes?
Even less, depending.
Actually less.
Yeah.
5?
No, not 5.
8.
10 minutes is 10,
Yeah.
Approximately 10.
I waited for it for longer. So
Well, depending on the traffic, there'll be traffic in the kitchen, so sometimes it could delay because of so many orders. So, yeah. But it's an interesting experience you can have, trust me.
I think that's good.
If you come from that perspective, giving clients an experience, it could be just one day in the week. Let them see how the process it takes for their food to be cooked. Then by the time you go into the table and wait for the food, you know, I cooked it myself. It takes a bit of a long time. Of course, that's not the idea to show you that your food delayed because you cooked it before with us. That's why the process it's more of like
be a part of it.
Be part of the experience, like not just
Okay. Yeah, that is really it. I appreciate the insights from the food, unless now there's something new. So this podcast also works like that.
Yeah.
Questions or an idea you explore away from what we have talked about. But precisely,
that's food. But food is wide and broad. I mean, there's so much you can do with all these ingredients. It's just how committed you are to doing that job, and how good are you at that job.
Yeah.
Because if chefs will tell you, nothing kills them when someone messes up their order. I told you to cook like this. You cooked it like what? Because he knows where the food is going. Either it will come back or they will finish it. So by the time he leaves the dispatch, he's happy. Like, this went through my hands.
And it's ready for them.
It's ready for consumption.
Yeah.
So food is sensitive. Food is very sensitive. That's why some of people come. Some of them are lactose intolerant. Like they don't do dairy products. Then before you know it, they put food has a bit of milk, butter. They are allergic to it. Then the waiter messes up their order. They need to listen, because the most important tool for a waiter is to listen. Like listen to the details, like listen to the details of a client. That will save you from all the trouble, no matter how complicated the client is. Because at that point is your boss.
You believe the customer is always king, even when they don't understand what they really want. Is the customer really always king?
They say customer is always king. That's true.
Yeah.
You give them what they want, they'll go happy. You mess up their order, they will never come back. Simple. The rest, whether they are right or wrong, that's none of your business. It's you, actually, if they do something that you see that is, they won't like it, you say, yes, but it's okay to direct them as well. Like, why don't you do have this dessert this way or this type of dessert for that specific type of food that you've eaten. Like you also need to direct them. Sometimes they mess up. Not mess up. Sometimes they eat something they saw on the menu in the picture, but they're like, anyway, why did you tell me that this is like this? They always tell us, like, why didn't you advise me also? You saw me ordering for this. You did. Sometimes they also need guidance to the menus because they don't know what it entails in that menu. So it's not more like I'm a boss. No, it's also they need guidance because these are dishes they're not used to. Some of them know them, some of them don't. The majority, something they don't. So you have to guide. So, you've done the salmon. Yeah, it's a seafood. It's imported, but it's grilled. How do you like it? Some of them like it raw, some of them like it rare, which I found a bit interesting. With fish, fish is
sushi, right? Is it raw fish?
Yeah,
That's a sushi somewhere I
sushi is something I can't. I've never tried it before, but the things I hear about it, but I also feel like I want to try it and taste it for myself.
You should try it.
You've tried it before?
Yeah, I didn't like that taste. I didn't digest it. So, yeah, I tried one piece.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many dishes. I can't really explain all these dishes. There's so many creatives out there. Food is an art. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Food is an art. Food is an art.
But these days, you can even see they put 1 cup chicken piece, then they put lines of creams and stuff, and then they present it.
Now, when you walk into fine dining and they give you looked at the bill, you looked at the dish you ordered for, and what they gave you, you say, I'm not sure if I can come back here for this type of quantity. I mean, I'm seeing 75, but the fish is like this cup.
She was like the order decided to be. Like this. Yeah, well, Benjamin, that's it. Thank you for
You're
sharing
welcome.
with me.
Thank you for hosting me as well.
All right.
That was